For more than 20 years, Family Guy has been this absolute lightning rod in pop culture. But you know what? Its legacy today is way more complex and, honestly, way weirder than anyone could have seen coming. So let's really dig in and reevaluate this animated titan, from how it changed comedy to its bizarre new life online.
I mean, think about it. You're just scrolling through your feed and bam, there's a Peter Griffin clip from like 2007. It's not just nostalgia anymore. This is a whole new generation finding the show in these little bite-sized pieces. So what's really going on here? What is Family Guy's actual cultural impact right now? To get a handle on its staying power, you kind of have to see the show as this cultural chameleon. It's figured out how to survive and even thrive by constantly changing what it means to whole new audiences, whether they're watching a full episode or just a 10-second clip. And that totally shifts the conversation, right? It's not just about asking, is this joke offensive anymore? The real story is how the show's meaning has been chopped up, remixed, and reframed into something its creators probably never, ever intended. Okay, so to really get this, we've got to rewind. Let's go back to the beginning, because before it was a meme factory, Family Guy was a genuine comedy innovator that just completely shattered the rules of TV, and it did it with one signature move. The show's secret weapon was the non sequitur, specifically the cutaway gag. Peter could be talking about, I don't know, getting his pants tailored, and then suddenly we'd smash cut to him fighting a giant chicken. It felt totally random, a little shocking, and at the time, completely new. And this approach was just radical. Think about it. The Simpsons built its comedy from the world of Springfield, from its characters. It all made sense together. Family Guy? They built their comedy by hitting the eject button on the story whenever they wanted, all for a quick, disconnected punchline. It really did pave the way for a whole new style of adult animation. But, and this is a big but, that same comedic freedom also opened the door to some incredibly dark and controversial humor. And looking back on those jokes from where we are today, man, they land very, very differently.
This is the million-dollar question for anyone seeing these clips now, isn't it? A joke that felt edgy or maybe subversive back in 2005 can feel just genuinely unsettling today. So how are we supposed to process this stuff when it's ripped out of its original context and just dropped onto our social media feeds? When you look at analysis from the source material, a really startling pattern emerges, especially with the female characters. I mean, when you just list out their actions, literally, the comedy completely disappears. And what you're left with is basically a rogues gallery of criminal behavior. We're talking everything from child endangerment to actual systematic torture. Let's take Peter's boss, Angela, as a perfect example. What was once played as this running gag about a desperate, lonely boss, well, seen through a modern lens, it's just clear-cut workplace predation. Plain and simple. The humor just evaporates, and you're left with the disturbing reality of what's actually happening on screen. Okay, but here's where the story takes a massive twist. Just as our culture was really starting to shift away from that style of humor, the show found this powerful and completely unexpected second life online, and it made it more visible than it had been in years. It all happens through this kind of viral pipeline. Let's be real, most young viewers today are not sitting down to watch a full episode from 2008. Instead, a really funny or shocking moment gets isolated, it becomes a trending sound, and suddenly millions of people know the punchline without any of the original setup or context. And this changes absolutely everything. The show isn't just a TV program anymore, it's become raw material. Its legacy is no longer in the hands of the writers. It's in the hands of millions of TikTokers and meme creators who are re-editing and reframing it for a brand new audience with totally different sensibilities. So, after all that, the comedy revolution, the problematic history, the bizarre digital resurrection, where does this leave Family Guy? What is its final place in pop culture? What's the takeaway? Well, the thing is, its legacy isn't one single thing. It's a total paradox. It's a comedy pioneer whose jokes are now often seen as deeply problematic. It's a cultural relic that's somehow more relevant than ever because of social media. It is, somehow, all of these things at the exact same time. And that leaves us with this one last fascinating, kind of mind-bending question. What does it all mean when the very scenes that make us cringe the hardest today are the exact same ones being repeated and remixed into viral content for a whole new generation? It's a chaotic, complicated legacy that honestly says just as much about us and the strange, fragmented way we all consume culture now as it does about the show itself.